right, this is going to be video number 6, starting where I'm talking about the store that I had in Hardy. You can go back and review videos 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, building up to the sidewalk issue that I'm having with the city of Mammoth Spring. So here we are finishing up how I blocked the sidewalks in Hardy.
Support from the city. People love my store, but I closed that store after I invested in real estate and a second store in Mammoth Spring, Arkansas. But I want y'all to look at all those faces of all those people in line, eager to get in there and pay some sales tax. Look at that. And I think that's what we all want.
Okay, that is the first time I mentioned sales tax. Actually, the mayor did not mention ADA compliance to me the first time he complained about not being able to get down on my sidewalk. I was the first one who mentioned ADA compliance. Okay, I'm the one who first brought it up in this letter last year. Now, if you listen to that audio, I just mentioned in the August meeting, I just mentioned paying sales tax, like how important sales tax is to the city, and that when you have business like this, like I have, that's what you want. You want people to come in and pay sales tax. So I brought up sales tax in August. Put that in your back pocket and think about that too.
So, the day after the last council meeting, where the mayor proposed an ordinance that nothing could be on the sidewalk other than benches or trash cans, I had a customer pull over on the side of the sidewalk, and she bought a white metal buffalo. That white metal buffalo was $99.99. She paid $10.50 in sales tax from something that was on my sidewalk. Sales tax. Y'all enjoying this air conditioning? Because I am. And it is sales tax that generates this wonderful air conditioning. So if you like all this air conditioning, why don't you thank the local factory? Oh wait, we don't have a factory. Why don't you thank the grocery store? We don't have one of those either. Why don't you thank the gas station? We don't have one. We don't have a convenience store, and we don't have a big box retailer either. What you have is a small business. So if you like this air conditioning, thank the sales tax generators, also known as small businesses.
I hammered sales tax. I hammered sales tax. Mammoth Spring is right next to Thayer, Missouri, and Thayer, Missouri has all those amenities that I just spoke of. But the only businesses in Mammoth Spring are small businesses. There are no large businesses in Mammoth Spring at all.
1 year ago, Mayor Bish called me and said people can't walk side by side down my sidewalk. And it kind of stunned me, and I said, exactly how wide are these people? Because I was baffled. What do you mean you can't walk down my sidewalk?
Now, I read this letter in full in video number 1 if you want to go back and read it. And also within that letter, I used real measurements again. Let's hammer that again. Real measurements, real numbers, and real people. That's what I continue to use.
Now, side by side is not the standard. So I responded with an email using real measurements. Here's a copy of the email. It is in your packet. Before I moved one thing, my sidewalk was 52 inches wide. ADA standard is 36. I exceeded the ADA standard by 16 inches. Then I moved a fern plant, pictured right here. I moved it back 8 inches. I made my sidewalk 60 inches wide. That sidewalk has never been less than 60 inches wide from a year ago. But 1 year later, the narrative has continued. So I got a letter June 2nd where the city required that I adhere to a 48-inch width. Not the standard, but I'll address that in a minute. So let's take a tour of the sidewalks of Mammoth Spring. These are included in your packet.
Okay, now I took some pictures of other sidewalks up and down the street in Mammoth Spring. Now, let's review. Here is my store, and this is the sidewalk we're talking about. And what you can't see, and you're welcome to go down and visit, but right here is a handicap on-ramp. So if anybody wants to roll up right here, so the measurement from right here to right here is at least 60 inches. So even if I put a clothing rack out here, it exceeds 48 inches at all times. And when I asked the city to show me, because I'm from Missouri, show me any time that I've had an infraction, show me when I've been out of compliance, and that I have blocked that sidewalk. I don't even block it when I'm unloading a trailer. I keep that open to 48 inches. Let me get back over here now. I want to show you the sidewalks. I'm going to go ahead and hit the audio again. And let's talk about some other sidewalks in Mammoth Spring.
I don't think that's handicap accessible. Major cracks in the sidewalks. Look at this manhole cover. People are going to turn an ankle.
I'll show you that in a
These are in
minute.
your packet. Look at that hunk of concrete. That is broken. There's no way somebody in a walker or a handicap can go, a handicap wheelchair can go across that. And I want you to notice something. This is in front of the former Jolly Roger building. This is crumbling concrete. That's the handicap on-ramp. That's nothing like what is down by Palace Drug. That is crumbling. I want you to notice that here, the opening is 56 inches wide. And I just said my sidewalk is 60 inches wide. So here's a close-up of the Jolly Roger. So that's not handicap accessible. So if you want to do this in the name of handicap accessibility, there's a lot more pressing issues, I think, than my sidewalk. So I got a letter, but I got a letter. I just showed you all that. I got the letter. So the mayor also took paperwork to Jennifer Edwards. Did you give Palace Drug a letter? That's a no. Did you give Washam's a letter? Okay, well, I got my letter June 2nd, so that was 2 months ago. So Washam's did not get a letter.
If you didn't catch that, I asked, did you give Jennifer Edwards a letter? And he took Jennifer Edwards a letter. I said, did you give Washam's a letter? He said, I hadn't had time. Mayor said he hadn't had time.
Did you give Cotham's Outlet a letter?
They have stuff on the sidewalk.
They have stuff on the sidewalk right now.
If you didn't catch that, he said they didn't have stuff on the sidewalk.
So Cotham's Outlet has stuff on the sidewalk right now. Washam's has had stuff on the sidewalk every day for 50 years. And Washam's is right next door to Jennifer Edwards. They both have things on the sidewalk. But you only gave letters to business women. Moving on.
He did not give any letters to businessmen.
A year ago, I responded to the first request in a letter. And in this letter from 1 year ago, no, I already did the letter from a year ago. Let me fix that. I responded to the June 2nd letter that I got from the city. And this is my response that was delivered in the requested time. In my letter, I said, can you be more specific as to which city ordinance or state statute you are claiming that I am out of compliance? I responded June 12th. I've had no answer. I also said, I would like to meet with a representative of the city of Mammoth Spring at my store. The purpose of this meeting is to obtain a detailed explanation as the basis of the city's position that my property is allegedly out of compliance with applicable ordinances, regulations, or statutes.
Now this is going to come into play a bit later. This is the letter I received giving me a 10-day deadline or be hit with prosecution, a civil suit, or to remove my items. Or the city was going to remove my items. This is dated June 2nd. This letter that I responded with was delivered by hand to Mammoth Spring City Hall, and it was addressed to Mr. Haas, the city attorney. So if you want to do a screenshot and read the rest of that letter, and I'll go on with the audio.
I had a meeting. I responded June 12th. I've not heard.
Okay, so they insisted that I jump through hoops. I did. I responded on June 12th, and as of the beginning of August, no one responded to me. Not one email, nothing in writing, not one visit to my store. Now, I have continued to ask, how am I out of compliance? Can somebody please show me how I'm out of compliance? And nobody will visit with me. Some of the councilmen and aldermen did come later, and we'll address that in a minute. So then we're going to jump on to video number 7, so stay tuned.